Welcome to Gray Overload. I'm Anthony, and here we have a tweet that came out that from Tech Rev. I hope this is right. If not, I do apologize for that. But this is some interesting information. This is something I've been waiting to see, to see if it was going to happen. Whereas AMD, Samsung, Qualcomm have decided to jointly develop Fidelity FX Super Revolution (FSR) in order to compete with NVIDIA's DLSS, and it's anticipated that FSR technology will be implemented in Samsung's Galaxy alongside ray tracing in the future. So that was a tweet, and the reason why I was expecting something like this is because AMD's approach to open source and allowing it to run on all GPUs. It was only a matter, to me, it was only a matter of time before, one of these mobile or, two mobile companies decided to say, hey, you know what? We're going to go through, we are going to start developing this and moving it forward and together to see, hey, maybe this is going to be a better option to compete against NVIDIA's closed, DLSS, right? NVIDIA does have a lot of developing power, so this is something that, they're going to have to step up and compete against. But I don't know if you guys have noticed, but Qualcomm's coming out with a more advanced chip for Windows. What is it? Uh, their X processor, which looks pretty promising. I'm sure Samsung has, been working on their development. They even had an AMD partnership. I don't know how that is going with RDNA, but there is that side of it too. Now they're going to be working on this. So you got another two developers or two different companies with some expertise, hopefully, that'll come in and put more resources into this and maybe start, notching up and catching up to DLSS where that is, and maybe even passing it. Uh, I know one thing that Qualcomm's probably going to want to do as they keep chipping away, trying to get into the Windows market is, hey, let's get rid of advantages that Intel may have, and let's make sure that we have games that can benefit from, where we have. And maybe at first it's a lot of this FSR and DLSS side of things, and that could be their winning way of trying to get into that market and kind of trying to chip away at where Intel is, right? They're not going to have a super powerful GPU right away. They're not going to have a discrete GPU, but they'll have an integrated one. And if they're playing along the lines of what Apple's doing, and and what they're trying to do, here Qualcomm is, and let's get something in that's pretty performant that can compete with the AMDs and Intels and Apples, and then let's use some FSR on top of that to be able to get it and um, get a better result, get a better, keep up performance, be able to compete with these other companies. And I think that this is actually a good move by Qualcomm and Samsung. I think that this is, one thing where you could actually see. I get Intel wanted to have XESS to be the open source that everyone went to. However, I don't think that that's with the way Intel's showing so far, that's going to be something that's going to be taking off. What happens though if Intel decides to say, hey, it looks like FSR is doing a lot better than what we would have liked with our own solution. Let's start rolling up in some of our stuff from XESS into FSR. Let's make this one product, and now you have another company on it. One, for the game developers, makes it really easy. They have one thing to go to. They know, it's working with AMD, Samsung, and Qualcomm now. If more, technology providers jump into that, they get a benefit. They do know it runs on all platforms currently already, so there's no huge downside to it. If it's easy to implement, you're off to the races and you have that benefit. As a developer myself, I kind of like that, right? I get a lot of platforms, I get some benefits, and then you kind of go from there. So these are things that I'm kind of been thinking about, and I've been trying to see and waiting to see when this might actually happen. And here we are. Hopefully, we see an announcement about this. This was a tweet from this guy on Twitter, which, getting that information out there, I appreciate. So I am very interested to see where this goes. I am excited to see, what other benefits or maybe what other companies can be that can join up and help contribute to FSR to make it even a better product, well rounded. Because when in the marketplace here, if we're going to have, competition, the competition on features in like DLSS versus FSR, I think was pretty crucial, and keeping them on pretty close pace against each other, I think will be a huge help for the community as well, especially those that use FSR and DLSS. So, with that, let me know what your thoughts are about this little bit of news here, this exclusive from Reeve. I hope I pronounced that right. He did a good job here getting that information out. And if this is something Fidelity FX Super Resolution FSR, getting that out there to onto more products, I think this could be a really big benefit to especially those products, but also to AMD and the community of getting more features, more development, more more acceleration to be able to compete where NVIDIA is, because I can see NVIDIA continuing to say, I'm going to go after this, and we are going to try to keep trying to bury where FSR is. So with that, thanks so much for supporting and helping Gray Overload grow. I really do appreciate it. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It really does help on the channel. Until next time, God bless.